Dear students, good morning to all. Now we will going to discuss about some worksheets. Okay. So students, all of you listen. How is the animal given below adapted to the climatic conditions it lives in? Polar bears are well adapted for survival in the Arctic. Polar bears always lives in snow areas. Okay. Their adaptations include a white appearance. Their adaptations include white appearance. Next, write a note on burrows, tunnels, and caves used by animals to protect themselves. Burrows. Burrows provide a form of shelter against predation. Burrows provide a form of shelter against predation. Next, tunnels. It is an underground passageway dug through the surroundings. Next, caves. Caves protect them from predators. Caves protect them from predators, following them to sleep and to rest without problems. Okay. Next, explain how tortoise and rat escape the extreme heat during summer. Extreme heat during summer. Tortoise will back to raise its body temperature. Will back to raise its body temperature. Next, rat. Rat is one of many animals. Rat is one of many animals that escape the heat of desert by going underground. Rat is one of many animals that escape the heat of desert by going underground. Next, explain with an example the camouflaging adaptations of an animal. One animal that uses camouflage to hide in its surroundings is the stone flounder, a flat fish that lies on the ocean's floor as it searches for prey. Next, what is meant by humidity of a place? What is meant by humidity of a place? Humidity is the amount of water vapor in the air if there is a lot of water vapor in the air. Humidity is the amount of water vapor in the air if there is a lot of water vapor in the air. Next, what does latitude mean? What does latitude mean? The angular distance of a place north or south of the east equator. The angular distance of a place north or south of the earth equator. Next, which adaptations help monkeys to live on trees in temperate climate? Which adaptations helps monkeys to live on trees in temperate climate? Their hands and feet are adapted in such a way that they can easily hold the branches of trees. Easily hold the branches of trees for monkeys. Next, which two factors affect the weather of a place? Which two factors affect the weather of a place? Which factors? Solar radiations, the amount of which changes with earth tilt. Okay, next. Why do desert animals excrete less urine? Why do desert animals excrete less urine? If the intake of water is restricted, the response is less excretion of water through the kidneys, in other words. Okay. Why do desert animal excrete less urine? If the intake of water is restricted, the response is less excretion of water through the kidneys, in other words. Okay. Next. Earth revolves around the sun to cause the appearance of sunrise and sunset. Described briefly. It passes through thicker layers of air and larger distance in the earth atmosphere before reaching our eyes, and most light and shorter wavelength are scattered away by the particles. Next, describe the working of rain gauge. What is the uses of rain gauge to measure the rain? What is the uses of rain gauge to measure the rainfall? Okay, it consists of a funnel that collects and channels the precipitations into a small container after a preset amount of precipitation. Next, the earth gets warmer during the day and cools at night. Why? The sea air keeps things warmer at night and cooler during the day. The atmospheric mixing and local winds that are created. Next, identify the percentage of humidity in the hygrometer and predict the weather. Identify the percentage of humidity in the hygrometer and predict the weather. To test the humidity in the atmosphere, which helps forecast weather patterns, meteorologists use a hygrometer. What is the main duties of meteorologist? The meteorologist main duties to measure the weather conditions. How does the red-eyed frog climb trees on which it lives? Red-eyed frog has developed sticky pads on its feet which help it to climb easily on the trees on which it lives. How does the red-eyed frog climb trees on which it lives? The red-eyed frog has developed sticky pads to capturing the insects. Sticky pads on the feet which help to climb easily on the trees on which it lives. Next, explain the adaptive features of the animal given below to live in hot and dry climate. Camels are well adapted for survival in desert. The camels adapted to survival in desert areas. Their adaptations include large flat feet to spread their weight on the sand. The adaptations include large flat feet to spread their weight of the sand. Next, write any 4 common adaptive features of animals living in extremely cold climate. Write any 4 common adaptive features of animals living in extremely cold climate. The animals living in the polar regions, live in like example polar bears have adapted extremely cold climate by having some special features such as white color, thick layer of fur, thick skin, along of fat under the skin. So, the adaptations of polar bears in snow areas. Next, write two difference between estivation and hibernations. Or you remember students, estivation and hibernations. What is mean by hibernation? It is the type of winter sleep performed by the warm and cold-blooded animals. It is the type of winter sleep performed by the warm and cold-blooded animals. Next, estivations. What is mean by estivations? It is the type of summer sleep. Hibernations means the type of winter sleep. What is mean by hibernation? What is mean by estivations? What is the difference between hibernation and estivation? The hibernations means the winter sleep. Estivations the type of summer sleep performed by cold-blooded animals. For estivations, performed by cold-blooded animals for the estivations. Next, explain the causes of seasonal changes caused by the earth tilt. Earth tilt axis causes the seasons. Through our year, different parts of earth receives the sun's direct rays. When the south pole tilts towards sun, it's winter in the northern hemisphere. It's winter in the northern hemispheres. Okay. Next. See, describe briefly formation of soil from parent rocks. Soil minerals form the basis of soil. They are produced from rocks. The soil is produced from basis of rocks through the process of weathering and natural erosion and natural soil erosion. Okay. Describe the briefly formation of soil. Formation of soil. The breakdown of rocks to produce the soil through the process of weathering and natural erosion. Next, explain the 4 rules, principles in reducing soil pollution. The soil contamination or soil pollution. Soil contamination or soil pollutions as part of land degradation is caused by the presence of xerophytes plants. What is mean by xerophytes plants? For example, dates also xerophytes plants. Xerophytes plants also live in desert areas. So, xerobiotics, chemicals or other alterations in the natural soil environment. Next, explain the role of humus in preventing soil erosion. Explain the role of humus in preventing soil erosion. How to prevent the soil erosion? The humus increases water infiltrations, which in turn helps preventing surface runoff. Soil with a high amount of humus. Soil with a high amount of humus has a stable soil aggregate with makes it hard for the particles to be eroded. That is a prevent to soil erosion. How to prevent to soil erosion? The soil with a high amount of humus has a stable soil aggregated with make it hard for the particles to be eroded. Next, write a note on moisture content of loamy, clay and sandy soil. What is the moisture content of loamy, clay and sandy soil? Loamy soil is the mixture of clay, sand and slit soil. That is a loamy soil. Next, clay soil is the heavy soil type that benefits from high nutrition. That is a clay soils. Then sandy soil. It is a light, warm, dry. The clay soils conditions also light, warm conditions. Dry and tend to be acidic and low nutrients. Acidic and low nutrients. That's all, students. The two worksheets I will give some homework. Okay, two worksheets also I will give some homework, so all of you complete. Already I will give this homework, but you did not submit my WhatsApp number, so all of you complete and send my WhatsApp number. The two worksheets, just two worksheets only. Okay, thank you.